This is Dev AI, focusing on news developments in AI and the legal space. Please subscribe to my channel. The Committee on Artificial Intelligence had its third plenary meeting in Strasbourg on January 11th to January 13th, 2023, where Chapter 5 of the Zero Draft Convention was examined and discussed. The Committee on Artificial Intelligence was given the mandate by the Council of Europe Committee of Ministers for the years 2022 to 2024 to establish an international negotiation process for writing a convention on the development, design, and application of artificial intelligence. The convention's goal is to guarantee that AI systems completely uphold human rights, respect democratic processes, and uphold the rule of law throughout the entire lifetime, regardless of whether these actions are made by public or private actors. The creation, implementation, and use of AI systems for functions associated with national defense are specifically beyond the purview of this convention. The negotiators appear to be in agreement that such a convention should be viewed as a broad framework first and foremost that might be enhanced by additional responsibilities in the more focused domains. The Convention's goal is to guarantee that throughout the lifespan, AI systems completely uphold human rights, respect democracy, and uphold the rule of law, regardless of whether these actions are made by public or private actors. This Convention specifically excludes from its purview the design, development, and use of AI systems for objectives connected to national defense. The negotiators appear to be in agreement that such convention should be viewed first and foremost as a broad framework that might be complemented by additional responsibilities in more specialized domains. The first thing the draft convention does is offer a legal definition of AI systems, which is highly intriguing given that the lack of a clear definition is a significant sticking point in ongoing negotiations to approve the AI Act at the level of the European Union. The proposed convention lays forth requirements for how public authorities and any commercial business operating on their behalf, as well as how both public and private actors may use AI systems to provide products, facilities, and services. Regarding the latter, the draft agreement incorporates more precise provisions for the protection of a person's freedom, autonomy, and human dignity, as well as the preservation of the environment and public health. It's interesting to note that the Convention specifically tackles the concerns presented by AI systems in terms of preventing undue influence or manipulation that may have an impact on people's human rights, including but not limited to freedom of speech. In the design, development, and use of artificial intelligence systems, several essential values such as equality and non-discrimination, privacy, and the protection of personal information, openness, supervision, safety, and safe innovation should serve as a guidance. Furthermore, given the pertinent social, economic, ethical, and legal ramification, these fundamental principles should be the topic of adequate public discussion and multiple stakeholder collaborations. Therefore, it is deemed crucial to encourage digital literacy and skill development across all facets of society. Additionally, the text includes protections and methods to guarantee responsibility and compensation for everyone impacted by AI systems, including those with impairments. State signatories to the convention should therefore make sure that those impacted by artificial intelligence can seek redress for any unlawful harm or damage suffered in regard to human rights and the fundamental freedoms as a result of the use of AI system. This is done within the jurisdiction and in accordance with the domestic laws. The establishment of the right to a human review of decisions made by an AI system that may affect people's human rights and fundamental freedoms, as well as the option of interacting with a human in addition to or instead of an AI system, should be done to ensure the availability of procedural safeguards. Only legal limits on the use of the aforementioned rights may be necessary and appropriate in situations where there is a valid public interest. The Zero Draft Convention invites state parties to set standards for perform impact and risk assessment, which must take into account the viewpoint of individuals who may be impacted by AI and whose rights may be harmed by the system's functioning. States should also make sure that the negative effects brought by the usage of improved AI systems are documented, taken into account, and carried out iteratively at an acceptable rate throughout the lifespan of such a system. It must be emphasized that these circumstances must be taken into account in connection to the exercise of human rights, the operation of democracy, and the respect for the rule of law. Not to mention, the signing nations maintain the right to impose a moratorium or restriction on certain uses of artificial intelligence system cases when the competent domestic authority deems such measures acceptable and essential. The convention built also on the interinstitutional statement on digital rights and principles that the EU recently approved in order to guarantee the protection of individual basic rights in connection with the use of AI. The Council of Europe, a global human rights organization, is creating an international convention with an emphasis on democracy, the rule of law, and the human rights. And the AI Convention, as it's also then known as the AI Treaty, seems to be the first that shall be then enforced with the signatories. Currently, the COE, the Council of Europe, has 46 members, including the EU27 and other, as I said, associated countries. Most recently, Russia was ejected, and there are several observer nations, such as US, Canada, and Mexico, as well as Israel, which are not obligated by the organization, but are free to ratify treaties, like if they really want to observe. This is also one of the first and foremost challenges, that this treaty is conducted and is stated by not the United Nations, but the Council of Europe. And as I said before, the main objectives are really that the AI systems should be banned if they pose unacceptable high dangers to people, and there should be a minimum level of protection for anyone who could be harmed by AI systems. Nevertheless, the Convention requires each signatory to give effect to the principles, rules, and rights set forth in the Convention by domestic law. This involves also making sure that the AI system will uphold the rule of law and basic rights in each jurisdiction, as well as encourage sustainability and environmental preservation. Furthermore, the regulation shall incorporate public dialogue, as well as ensure accountability, responsibility, and legal culpability. Finally, it shall also ensure privacy, as well as the safety and security and robustness of the framework. First applications for the creation, implementation, and the use of AI systems in the public sector should ensure that the AI system is subject to procedural safeguards, such as transparency to subjects impacted by the AI systems, including the fact that they are interacting with an AI system. Furthermore, there should be also the right to human review decisions by AI system. Now the question is, however, whether this AI Convention can be really, as I said, implemented in a wide variety of forms across the world and can be really reproduced, given that even the understanding in terms of human rights and privacy regulations are completely different across multiple nations. It is very challenging, and it will be very interesting to see whether the draft convention will be able to really provide a unique system and a unique environment in order to achieve this objective to really be uniformly applied across the world. However, there will be definitely challenges that arise currently from generative AI systems and the different, as I said, approach that multiple countries are currently utilizing. The current convention has definitely a lot of essential and a lot of opportunities, and the objective is really to have the framework completed by the end. The US Council of Europe's Committee on Artificial Intelligence is wound up in 2024, and however, there will definitely be delayed talks on the treaty in order to really ensure that at least on a European level, the negotiations are completed and really the EU treaty or this EU AI convention will be implemented by all member states. Whether this will be, as I said, instituted throughout the world has to be seen, but definitely will require a more extensive approach within the United Nations to address this issue. This is the FAI, focusing on news developments in the AI and legal space. Please subscribe to my channel, put any questions or feedback in the comments section. Goodbye.